How's it going, everybody? We have a pretty big video to go over today. You should stop using your bio and mutant gear right now. Right now, don't do it. I mean, there's a couple caveats. We'll talk about why you may still want to do it. Of course, Professor X Chase, we got to acknowledge that. We also have Danger Room updates for the next run of Danger Room. I also want to talk just about the changes that they're going to make, how people kind of enjoyed Danger Room this time around, how I enjoyed it, of course, what I would like to see change, stuff like that. But let's go ahead and let's jump right into it. And why should you not use your bio or mutant gear? There might be a new arena team coming. So we got data mines coming from Boilon, coming soon, Negative Zone Harbinger, all new Negative Zone. The important bit is at the very bottom. A preview for the third iteration of Negative Zone, nodes 13 to 16, have the arena game mode active. So we know that Vigilante and Thunderbolts were the first two teams, the first 8 nodes, if you will. Raid rules were turned on, because both of those teams are raid teams. The next 4 nodes, they turn Crucible rules on because the Accursed team is a Crucible team. Now, we're still able to get through those nodes, but I imagine there's going to be an event that's going to require running that mode every single day with Accursed characters to make sure you can actually beat it every day for some sort of leaderboard. And then it stands to reason the next 4 nodes should also coincide with whatever mode that next team is going to be relegated for, which could be Arena. Now, the arena has some huge implications, which we'll talk about in a second, but I do want to go through some more data mines completely off the conversation we're having here today. But it does look like there's going to be a leaderboard event for more Mystic gear. Maybe that's not going to be the leaderboard reward, though. And there's going to be a spend energy component to it, as well as earning Hellfire Orb Fragments. This is not related to the Hellfire Club, which we're going to talk about in a second. That's still the Accursed team, the Hellfire Orb stuff that we're going to get through arena rankings and then opening Shadow King Diamond Orbs. That's going to be straight offers. But yeah, sort of keeping hoarding alive in Marvel Strike Force, which I personally don't like. And I don't hoard energy because I'd rather get gold trade materials to build up more teams. But hey, if you're a hoarder, maybe this is going to pay off for you. Let's get back to the arena conversation. We have a couple suspected candidates for an arena team. Now, not too long ago in a strike spot, Ryan Jacobson, the general manager, did allude to the idea that the Fantastic Four team, there's going to be a team for them, right? The movie is coming out next month. He heavily suggested that there are 2 characters that have not been, recently reworked on the Fantastic Four team. And that is, of course, Thing and Johnny Storm. The Thing is still usable on the new Avengers team, but Johnny, not so much, right? Human Torch, not so much. So we do suspect that if there is going to be a Fantastic Four team coming next patch, these 2 would be the rework characters. But why would we not want to spend bio gear? The Fantastic Four team is going to all be bio, or at least they have all been bio the last time we had the Fantastic Four team. So for this reason, I do kind of suggest you lay off spending the bio gear, unless, of course, this is going to help you beat a section of the Professor X saga. Right? If you're still on that journey, then I would suggest you still try and get as many red stars of Professor X as possible. Or if this is going to help you get the unlock, of course, unlock Professor X, because he's still going to be, even if there is an arena team, he's still going to be the arena guy. In fact, I think it's probably not going to be the Fantastic Four. I think instead, we might be seeing the return of the Marauders, but in the Hellfire Club, right? Because we did get that vote where we voted between Sauron, Daddy, Night Stalker, Azazel, and Celine. Of course, Azazel ended up winning it there. And the time frame kind of matches for when the Hellfire Club should be coming to the game now. Also, there was kind of a little oopsie poopsie, and somebody at the advertisement department for Scopely put out an Instagram video of a new cinematic where they were fighting against Madeline and Sinister, which is why I think it's going to be these 2 getting reworked. There's more reasons to think that it's going to be them getting reworked. Emma Frost X-Men with her passive, I think, has been such a pain in the side of the developers trying to make teams that aren't ruined by her dropping their speed stat. Take, for instance, the Accursed team. The Accursed team against an Emma Frost drops their speed stat to 113. Whoa, they get demolished by that, right? They're so slow, they get killed before they take a turn. Kind of a problem for your newest Crucible team. So I do think that it's going to be Hellfire Club because everything kind of matches up, especially that oopsie advertisement post on the Instagram that showed these 2 characters. And I would be so excited for this. I would be incredibly excited for Madeline and Sinister. I think Sinister's kit is just insanely fun to play around with. And Madeline, I don't think she really got to shine as much as we would like to see because she was on the War Defense team. The only way Madeline really shined is when they used her against us in Scourges and in Towers and in stuff like that. So I do think we're walking into a Hellfire arena team, which is why you should also not spend your mutant gear. If you can avoid spending your bio and mutant gear until the next team is announced, because that's not going to hurt your Professor X timeline, then I think you should do that and wait and see which one it's going to be. Because it's heavily suggested if those data mines are right, and Boylan's been right about 80% of the time with those data mines, if not higher than that, right? If that section is going to be arena-based, I heavily suspect that we're getting an arena team. And Mutant Arena Team would make a whole lot of sense because they don't want to knock Professor X out of the arena yet, and he would bring a lot of mutants together in a really cool way, right? So I think that's what we're gonna get. So the Annihilator 2.0, the Infinity Watch 3.0, the new Arena Team, which is typically a team that is good in all game modes, could very well be a mutant team or a bio team, and you should save your gear for that, because, like it or not, overpowered is in the game. I know most of us don't like it. I don't like it either. Don't get me wrong. I don't like it either, okay? This team is going to be as good as Annihilators were when they first came out. As good as Infinity Watch or Black Order were when they first came out. Darkhold when they first came out. We don't want to be at an overpowered disadvantage out the gate. So we're already going to be at a star level disadvantage out the gate, right? So for that, I'm saving all my gear for these guys. I was going to bring Apocalypse to gear to 20. I was going to bring Storm because I'm a really big fan of Crucible. I was going to be bringing Super Skrull, but now I'm just like, oh, no. We're just going to hold off. We're going to wait. Now, don't bring Super Skrull gear to 20. I've been talked out of it by a lot of people, okay? So I would very much recommend not using your gear to 20 on those two traits if you can help it, so long as it does not hurt your Professor X journey, okay? That's why you shouldn't spend gear. Now let's move on to the next thing. Danger Room frequently asked questions. So this is kind of like a wrap up of the Danger Room game mode, the first time it happened. So let's quickly go through this. We have closely monitoring the feedback regarding the Danger Room, and we want to address some of the more frequently asked questions that we have seen. Did the scoring method change mid-event? No, the scoring method did not change during the event. The way it works is that if you have successfully completed an elite mission and finish the run. Finish the run doesn't mean beat the final boss, by the way. Finish the run just means that you died. You started a new run. It will add the points from your run to your total score. It does also mean when you finish the run, though. So this is why on the baby account that I started and have already abandoned, by the way, I beat difficulty 7 twice, and I collected all the milestones. As long as you beat one elite mission along the way, the scores became additive. How will scoring work in the future? This is where they're like, okay, we didn't want it to work this way. Our plan for future instances of the Danger Room is that your highest run score, whether or not you completed an elite mission, will be the only score that counts for your total points. The Danger Room is meant to be a fun, replayable mode where you use your game knowledge, skill of play, and a bit of luck to manage the risk and dynamics situations you'll encounter in the Danger Room run. By rewarding players for their best score, we hope to avoid making the Danger Room a grind mode where players feel obligated to play more often than they enjoy. I think that they are dead on with this. The leaderboard aspect of this first run of the Danger Room, nobody was like, okay, this is something I want to be competitive. Not nobody. Lots of people went crazy on it. More people would have entertained the idea more for going to the leaderboard if it wasn't cumulative. After the first night, somebody had 3 million points, which means they ran difficulty 10, 30 times. At that point, it was like, you know what? I don't really think this is for me. It didn't really make sense at that point anymore. So I think that's good for the leaderboards. I don't like it for the milestones. I do wish that they just kept the milestones additive, because then more people are just getting the stuff. And I think that's really cool, right? Let's continue. Does the Danger Room have preloaded turn meter to give enemy teams an advantage? No, there are no missions that have preloaded turn meter. All the missions contain standard characters and their kits. As a player would be able to use them. If some enemy teams seemed especially fast, that is just due to normal character interactions from that team composition. As you complete more Danger Room runs, there are some mods you can achieve that will enable some of the enemy's game mode specific kicks, like the raid rules being active. So yes, when you equip the raid rules, it made a character like North Star get insane speed stat and stop your speed bar. So when you ran into North Star, it felt really weird, right? Because when we put those Danger Room rules on, we feel like it should only be to our benefit, but it was kind of a double-edged sword in some of those instances. So I still had one weird interaction where I think Mockingbird ended up going first. I didn't have like war rules turned on. There was no Ronin anyway. So I don't understand how the Mockingbird went before me, but in all other instances, I was able to kind of map out like, oh, yeah, this person would go before me because Vulture had X amount of heroes. Raid rules were on, so like Nightcrawler gets extra speed bar in Raid, plus he's got his speed up, all kinds of stuff like that, right? So I was able to kind of like make sense of it somewhat. But yes, we have, what, 300 some characters in the game now? I think we're nearing 400 or something like that. So, yes, there's a lot of different kits to keep track of when we're turning on different rules and how characters interact with each other. It could definitely be a little overwhelming, but it doesn't seem there was any sort of egregious speed bar in there. How do rental tokens work? Okay, this is the one I take the most issue with. For this run of Danger Room, the rental tokens will reset with every new run. However, in future runs, this will change to be 5 rental tokens per day. The rental character's power will scale based on the difficulty that you have chosen for your run. Rental characters allow you to try a character you haven't unlocked who is at a higher power level than you have unlocked. Rented character allows you to use it for that run only. I collected all 10 of the Danger Room milestones by only using rental characters, and I spammed rental characters on difficulty 7 until I was able to get a bunch of danger tokens and beat difficulty 7 twice. That would never be possible with a 4-day-old team. The reason it would never be possible is because I use the rental characters to farm danger tokens. What you could do to circumvent that a little bit is they're going to be, my understanding is they're going to be making the opening difficulties a little bit easier. So say if you're like 4 or 5 weeks into the game, you should be able to beat difficulty 1 or difficulty 2. So you could then go and you could farm danger tokens. It'll just take you a lot longer to get a meaningful amount. And then you can go difficulty 10, rent characters, and hopefully beat it. But it's a one and done, right? So by changing how the rental tokens work, it is going to make it much more unlikely for everybody to even have the potential to unlock the final milestone. So I don't love this. I kind of wish they just kept the rental tokens the same, because even though I beat it on a 4-day-old account, I also spent 3.5 hours doing it. So if a new player is going to have that level of dedication to this game mode, it means they already love the game. And I think you reward that. I think you just let the rental tokens stay the way they are, personally. I think that's a smart thing to do. Anyway. How often do you plan to run the Danger Room? They plan to run it once a month. Will the Danger Room always include the same characters? No. Whatever new characters will be in there. So the next run of Danger Room is probably going to have the Accursed team and whatever the next team is going to be, potentially. And then some standalone characters, right? So we're going to see like Crucible rules are active in the next Danger Room after we get so much Danger tokens. Will more mission nodes be added to the Danger Room? Yes. As this is our first run, we had more limited pool of potential missions for players to encounter. We will add more possible missions. This is great, because I did feel like in the early stages, I just ran into too many mutant nodes. It got a little tedious, right? I was just kind of running into too much, a little bit boring on that front. So increasing the scope of the amount of playable missions, I think will help a lot, especially those boss missions, right? How many times did you see that stupid Mephisto hive mind node, right? And so with the 14-day runtime of Danger Room, my final take on Danger Room is exactly what my first take of Danger Room was when we did the embargo video on it, right? I really, really, really enjoyed the mode for the first like 2 hours. And then it was pretty grindy, and then I got it done. And then because the way the leaderboards was, I didn't really feel the need to push for it, but I was okay with that. I had a lot of fun playing the mode. I would not want my time back for what I put into that mode. Even on the baby count where I spent, 3 hours, and it was pretty painful because the rental characters, though they can get it done on some of the elite missions, they do struggle until you have enough danger tokens, right? So, although there was some frustrating moments for sure, and there were some nodes where it's like night crawlers on spawn every single time, and you just get ran over, and they take a bunch of turns before you get to go because you just got bad RNG on the node, there was some frustrating moments for sure. But on the whole, I still really enjoyed the game. I felt really accomplished completing it on the free-to-play account and on that very, very new account. On my endgame account, I probably could have banged it out within like an hour if I wanted to, and then never looked at it again. And we got great rewards, right? We got great rewards. The global milestone, the rewards they gave there, including those bonus rewards, was really fun. It made it feel special. Danger Room felt very special. I think it will continue to feel special as long as they keep until they keep increasing the amount of nodes we get, the type of creative rules they could do, adding in some mini bosses that have like that Nimrod or that Null sort of UI, but they don't make it so that guy kills you immediately, right? I think there's a lot of potential in Danger Room, and I think it already was really fun. So I think Danger Room is great. I'd be interested to know your guys' take on Danger Room. And finally, before we sign off, I do want to let you guys know, we did start a new sponsorship. Holy crap, it just jumped up crazy since I started recording this video. Okay, we started a new sponsorship. It's already up to $800. This one is Match Masters. This is basically PvP Bejeweled, which sounds insane. It is insane, and it's actually kind of fun. I'm really enjoying it. And so we're already up to $800. If you want to get involved with this, I'll leave a link in the pinned comment if you want to get involved. It's going to be the same sort of rules as we did for Realms of Pixels. If you take part in the sponsorship, as soon as it gets paid out, I'm going to do a big raffle with everyone's names. You got to just enter by leaving a picture of your account in the Discord in the giveaways section. And we're going to do giveaways on that. The giveaways for Realms of Pixels is coming up very fast. It's already June 4th, so this should pay out in 5 days. On June 10th, I'll do the giveaway. I'll make sure I communicate that all with you guys like crazy. The one difference I'm going to do for this giveaway, and this, I talked to a chat about this on Twitch and on YouTube while we were streaming, and this seems to be a popular idea, is that if you install the game, you get 1 raffle ticket for the giveaway. For every 2 milestones you hit after that, you get an extra raffle ticket. So if you just install the game, you get 1 raffle ticket. If you hit 300 trophies, 2 raffle tickets. If you hit 1,100 trophies, 3 raffle tickets, so on and so forth. The maximum amount of money we can make here is insane, and I'd be so happy to give it all away to you guys. I really would. So same rules as last time. I keep 50% because Canadian taxes is 47%, so I need to do that so I don't ruin myself in taxes. And the rest of it goes to you guys, because I just want to thank you guys so much for letting me do this job. I really appreciate it. You guys are the best, and without you guys, obviously I wouldn't have a job. All right, but that's it for this video. I hope you guys are doing well. Hope you are happy, healthy, and have yourself a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys next video. Bye, everybody.
That's it for the video, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, make sure you like, share, and subscribe. Stay happy, healthy, have fun, and I'll see you in the next one.